Most people think that the greatest risk in life is failure. I, in fact, think that the greatest risk in life is success because failure is obvious and to be expected. Success is very sneaky. Makes sense. This is called stepping into the arena of play and the cost of playing it safe. So here's an interesting thing to look at. Did you know that 93% of people, and that's us, die with their calling still inside of them? In fact, this is why a lot of people kind of make this reference that the cemetery is the richest plot of land in all of the world. And the reason why is it's a place full of unfulfilled dreams. And it's not because they weren't talented or capable. We believe that everybody here is highly capable, just scattered, and maybe they haven't established clarity yet. So we always say clarity before action. The reason why is because the moment that they stepped towards this thing that we're going to talk about called the arena of play, the moment that real opportunity showed up, you know that saying, careful what you ask for, you just might get it, they short-circuited. So it's not their fault. They didn't think they could handle it. So if you look at the natural reaction of human beings to either fight or flight, that's a natural thing. We're either going to fight or flight. Most of us, and that includes me for most of my life, we choose flight. If you think about it, it's safe. And that today we're going to refer to as being in the stands of the arena. I'm going to share with you one of the biggest lies that we're ever taught. Most people think that the greatest risk in life is failure. You have to face failure, right? Fail forward. I actually don't, or I'm actually going to look at it from a different perspective. I, in fact, think that the greatest risk in life is success. Now, success is attached to overwhelm, right? Because failure is obvious and to be expected. You know, careful what you ask for, you just might get it. That indicates that you don't know how much success you'll get. You assume you won't from previous patterns, but you know you're going to fail, right? So failure is obvious. Success is very sneaky. Success asks a much more threatening and dangerous question, and here it is. Can you handle what you say that you want? And I'll tell you something right now, the difference between goal setting and goal getting, there's a big gap there. A lot of people set goals and never get them. It's a quality decision when you set the goal and you embrace everything that comes with it, the failure, the overwhelm and all that, and say, I'm in. So that's why I'm where I'm at, is I accepted it all. I never stopped. You know, if you see a fight and you start to approximate towards it, but then you start to move away from it, you're not going to be in the fight. But if you keep going, you're going to be in a fight. And then you also have this idea of staying in the fight, not tapping out. So most people never discover their purpose because they never leave what we call the stands in life. The stands are fun, you know. There's so many experts in the stands, aren't there? And those who do leave the stands or the bleachers, right, and step on or even try to step onto the arena of play often retreat the moment that things start working. Now, that's what's funny about the arena of play. I want to share with you something that I heard from Stephen Pressfield. He's an upcoming guest, Stephen Pressfield, and he talks about this thing called the river of creativity that's flowing beneath us at all times. It's not a destination. If you have the ability to look down right now, you will see there is a river of unlimited creativity flowing beneath you. So the river flows with creativity. This is what's in that river: purpose, possibilities, and unlimited potential. And it's flowing beneath you right now. You don't need to do anything to go find this river. It's already there, and it's just waiting for you to notice it and maybe remove the dam. So most people think that they need to find their purpose. I'm going to go out and find my purpose. I'm of the persuasion, which means I don't know for sure, haven't made up my mind yet, but right now at this time, I'm of the persuasion that this is not true, that we have to find our purpose. I think purpose is already flowing beneath us. Okay? The problem isn't finding this river of purpose and creativity. The problem is removing the dams. So what do I mean by dams? Let's talk about that. Well, one dam is called fear. One is called distraction. The other, resistance overall, overthinking, people-pleasing, self-doubt, and of course, conditioning. So the river, by the way, never stops flowing. Whether you notice it or not, whether you access it or not, it never stops flowing. You simply stop listening because you've been placing too much energy on the dam. Isn't that interesting? It's not like you've constructed a dam. It's just there because you've been putting your energy on people-pleasing, self-doubt, fear, all of that stuff. So one of the most powerful questions you can ask yourself right now is this: what dam am I currently maintaining that I now know is blocking my own flow? So if you're currently in what feels like a wilderness season, a tough season of personal growth, please listen carefully right now. I want you to know that most probably you're not lost. Even though you feel lost, you're just actually starting to prepare. And I want to teach you about this place called the wilderness, that if you change the way you look at the wilderness, you're going to get excited right now, because a lot of people are in the wilderness. So Pressfield describes the wilderness as a period of what he calls exile. And that's a season where nothing really makes sense. Confusing, right? Crossroads. Great time to be approached by a cult, by the way. When you're at a crossroads, a confusing time. And it's a season where old identities stop working. What you used to do and who you used to who are no longer working. They don't apply. And it's a season where you no longer fit in the stands. This is really interesting. Even the stands feel uncomfortable, right? It's a season where you no longer fit in the stands, but don't yet feel comfortable in the arena. So it's like neither here nor there. So I want you to know that the stands, there's the arena, but then there's the wilderness. Maybe you're in the wilderness. Most people think that the wilderness is a hardship or a punishment or a tough time, a tough season. This is a great reframe right now. I think it's actually what I call necessary recruitment. It's where old versions of you go to die. So if you're in that tough season right now, what I'm saying is maybe you're there in preparation on your way to the arena of play. There's some work involved in that. And there's an old version of you that's ready to die. And it's where the interface response system, which is what I teach in the book, and all of those processes start helping you navigate, because it's not fun, it's tough. So the 4 steps of the interface response system is perceive, like, okay, I'm in the wilderness. That might be what you're doing right now. And then pause and say, well, what do I think about this? What did JC say about it? Process it, ask questions about it. What version of me has come here to die? What is this preparing me for, right? And then proceed. And the wilderness is actually the pathway, the passageway to the arena of play. You can't just jump on the arena of play by skipping the wilderness. You know why? Because you're going to jump into the arena of play as an older version of yourself that is not equipped for the arena of play, and you won't be able to handle the voltage. Make sense? Isn't this super cool? So the wilderness is actually the process. It's where your character gets forced to upgrade. That's why it's uncomfortable. That's why it's considered a messy, tough season. And it's where your soul gets stronger and your future self is forged. Maybe your life doesn't need a new strategy. Maybe it needs a new identity or an evolved next level identity. Maybe the wilderness isn't blocking your path. Maybe it is the path. Maybe resistance, as Pressfield talks about, isn't evidence that you're moving in the wrong direction. Maybe it's proof that you finally are moving to something that actually matters in the right direction. And maybe the arena of play isn't waiting for you someday. Maybe it's waiting for you right now, okay? If the responsibility of the arena scares you, it's just that you're not ready yet, and that's fine, okay? But now maybe you can see it. Maybe you've caught your drift and you're ready to shift. Where in your life are you still sitting in the stands? By the way, you can be in the arena in one place and still sitting in the stands in another, which is fine, I'm in the stands in some areas, but right now I haven't decided to go into the arena of play. What wilderness are you resisting that may actually be there to prepare you? If you're resisting the wilderness, you're resisting the preparation and the training. And are you building the identity required to handle the voltage of the life that you keep asking for and praying for? So wake up, step in, the game is ready and it's underway, right? The river's already flowing and your seat in the stands was never meant to be permanent. Make sense? Do me a favor, hit subscribe and like the video if you're vibing with this. It helps us reach more people who need to hear this message. Share this with a friend and comment with a topic that you might want to hear in future episodes. I want to make sure that we're talking about things that matter most to you.
Makes sense.